Hello and welcome to all the viewers. You are watching Learn English with Amjad, and today in this particular video we are going to talk about the pronoun and its kinds. So let's start. Let's talk about the pronoun first. So now you can see the definition here, a word that is used instead of the noun. So this is the word that you are going to use instead of the noun, what you call pronoun. So you can see the examples of the pronoun I, we, he, she, them, us. So these are all the words that you use instead of the noun, what you call pronoun. So let's see the examples in the sentence to make it clear. So you can see Faraz is good at cricket. So now Faraz, this is the noun. So what you need to do, you have to convert the noun into pronoun. So how can you do this? You can see the example. He is good at cricket. So suppose if Faraz is in front of you and you don't want to mention his name, so you could use pronoun which is he instead of the noun. So why we use pronoun? We use pronoun when we don't know the name of the person, or when we don't want to show the name of that person. In that case we use pronoun. Another example, you can see Asad and Aslam are friends. So here you can see the two nouns Asad and Aslam. So when there are two nouns, you would use the which is pronoun for which is used for two nouns or more than two. So if there are more than two or two nouns, you can use the pronoun they. So you can say they are friends. So this is the pronoun. Let's talk about the kinds of the pronoun. So the first kind, which is the subjective pronoun. So now let's see the definition. Those words we use instead of noun at the place of subject. As we have already mentioned, the words that we use instead of the noun or the pronoun, but what is additional here? This is at the place of subject. The words that you are using at the place of subject, what you call subjective pronoun. So these are all the words that you use at the place of the subject. As we know, in a sentence we need three things usually: subject, verb and object. So subject usually takes place at the starting of the sentence, and object at the end of the sentence. We use verb between them. So these are all the nouns: I, we, you, he, she. These are all the nouns that you use at the place of subject in the sentence. See the examples to make it clear. Okay, so now you can see Uzma is watching movie. Here Uzma, it is a noun. You are using pronoun instead of it, which is she. So you could say she is watching movie instead of saying Uzma is watching movie. So this is how you can use these all the pronoun at the place of subject. So let's talk about the next, which is objective pronoun. As word suggests, objective pronoun, the words that we use instead of noun at the place of object. So those words that you are using at the place of object instead of noun, what you call objective pronoun. So these are the examples: me, us, you, him, her, it, them. So these are all the examples of the objective pronoun. How will you use objective pronoun in sentence? Let's look at the sentence. So this is a sentence: I will beat Ali. Here Ali, which is at the place of object in a sentence, while I, this is the subject of the sentence. So what you need to do, how can you convert a noun into pronoun? You could say, instead of Ali, you could say you. Suppose Ali is in front of you. You don't want to say I will beat Ali, but you will say I will beat you. So this is how you can convert noun into pronoun at the place of object. This is what you call objective pronoun. So let's move to the third, which is possessive pronoun. See the definition. The pronoun which shows the position or ownership is called possessive pronoun. So those words or the pronoun that shows the position or the ownership are known as possessive pronoun. These are the examples of it. Mine, ours, yours, his, hers, its, theirs. So these are all the possessive pronoun. How will you use this in a sentence? You can see this book is of Aslam. So the book is belonging to Aslam. So this book is the possession of Aslam. So now Aslam is the owner of the book. So how can you convert this into pronoun? So you could say yours. This book is yours, instead of saying this book is of Aslam. So what you did, you just convert the noun into pronoun as it shows the position. This is what you call possessive pronoun. So you can use all the remaining examples in your sentence, and you can comment that in comment box. Let's move to the fourth, which is reflective pronoun. Reflexive pronoun. It represents the action performed by the subject is on the subject itself. So now the reflexive pronoun, it is going to be the object in the sentence. The place of the reflexive pronoun is going to be at the object. You could see, get a few examples to make it clear. So reflexive pronoun, what they do actually, they just reflects about this subject. It represents the action performed by subject is on the subject itself. Examples in the sentence will make it clear. You can see these are all the examples of reflexive pronoun. So how will you make sentence? I will do work myself. So now the work you are doing by yourself. So when you're talking about reflexive pronoun, the reflexive pronoun will be according to the subject in a sentence. So here I is the subjective pronoun. So reflexive pronoun will be according to the subjective pronoun. So this is how you can make reflexive pronoun. Usually the place of reflexive pronoun is at the object. So let's talk about the fifth, which is emphasis pronoun. An empathetic pronoun is that which is used to add emphasis to the subject of the sentence. So you can see pronoun is that which is used to add emphasis. You are emphasizing the subject in a sentence. See the example. She herself opened the door. So now emphasis pronoun you could use before the verb or after the subject, while the reflexive pronoun you will have to use at the place of object. This is the point that you need to remember. And reflexive emphasis pronoun actually shows that who actually do the work. So the door was opened by herself, so she herself did that. So that's why we can say this is the emphasis pronoun. So herself, as we have studied, it could be reflexive. Herself, it could be emphasis. So let's make an eye what the difference is actually all about between these two. So when you're talking about reflexive pronoun, these are used as objects of the verb when the action of verb returns to the door and the subject and the object of the sentence are the same. As I have mentioned this, you can see the example, I hurt myself. So usually the reflexive pronoun will be at the place of the object, and that would be the according to the subject in the sentence. So I hurt self, the reflexive of I, it is going to be myself. And if there is we, so we could say we hurt ourselves. So the reflexive pronoun is going to be according to the subjective pronoun. While when you're talking about empathetic pronoun are used to emphasize noun or pronoun. You could see the example, she herself opened the door. So empathetic you could use before the verb or after the subject, and that empathetic pronoun referring that who is the doer of the action. She did that by herself. So who did open the door? She herself opened the door. So let's move to the sixth kind, which is demonstrative pronoun. So it is used to point out the objects to which they refer and are therefore called demonstrative pronoun. So demonstrative pronoun actually we use just to point out the objectives. You can see the example. These are few examples of demonstrative: this, that, these, those. So let me distinguish these words. The difference between this, that and those. So let's talk about that. So this and that we use for singular noun when you are referring single, while these and those we use for plural. This we use for something which is near, and that which we use for singular, which is far. So these we use for plural, which is near, and those we use for a plural, which is far from us. So how can you use demonstrative in a sentence? You can see this is a present from my uncle. So now you are pointing out the present which is from your uncle. So this is this which is the demonstrative pronoun you are using to point out the object which is here. You can see. So I think it's easy. Let's move to the 7, which is indefinite pronoun. So sometimes the pronouns used in a sentence do not refer to any particular thing or person. They are used in a general way. Such pronouns are known as indefinite pronoun. So those pronouns that do not refer to any particular thing or person. You are talking in general. It could be, you can see the example, all, anyone, anybody, everybody, everyone, everything. So these are all the indefinite pronoun. These are the pronouns that we use in general. We don't refer to a particular thing or person. We are not referring that could be a male or female. It could be anything when you're talking about indefinite pronoun. See the sentence. Nobody can help you in this situation. So nobody can help you. It could be male, it could be female, it could be anything. So this is how you can use the indefinite pronoun, which talk about in general. So let's move the 8th, which is relative pronoun. A relative pronoun is one which is used to refer to nouns mentioned previously. So those nouns that you have already mentioned in a sentence, whether they are people, places, things, animals, or any idea. Relative pronoun can be used to join two sentences. So this is the second point to remember. You can see the examples. These are all the relative pronouns that you use just to refer nouns which is mentioned previously, or you could use these all the relative pronouns to join two sentences or the phrases. Let's see the sentence. This is the place where we met. So now you can see the sentence. This is the place. So now this is what the previously mentioned in the sentence where we met. You are referring to this, that where we met. You are using an additional information after the relative pronoun where we met. So relative pronoun we use for two reasons. Where we want to mention the previously in a sentence, something which is previously said, or we could also use relative pronoun to combine two sentences or the phrases. So let's talk about the last, which is interrogative pronoun. The pronoun that are used for asking questions. So interrogative are those pronouns that we use when we are asking questions. So you see the example. Who are you? Here you are asking a question about the noun this. So in that situation you could use interrogative pronoun. So you might be thinking that what, which, who, whose, these are the words that could be relative, or there could be the interrogative. So what is the difference between these two? So let's talk about the difference at the end. So the relative pronouns are used to connect clauses or the phrases to a noun or pronoun. This is the point that I have mentioned. The relative pronoun we use for connecting clauses or phrases to noun or pronoun. Like I have written a sentence here. A man who lost his wallet could not buy his groceries. So now you can see a man here, a previous idea that you are relating to the additional information, which is who lost his wallet could not buy his groceries. So that is the reason you use relative, while when you are talking about the interrogative, you are talking about to ask a question. When you are asking a question, you will use interrogative like who are you, in that case. While when you are referring previously mentioned information and adding more information, or when you are connecting clauses of the phrases, you are using relative pronoun. So this is the basic difference between relative and interrogative pronouns. So I think you got all the information about the relative and all the kinds of pronoun. In next video we are going to talk about the adjectives and the kinds of the adjectives. So until the next time, it's goodbye. Thank you.